Oh, nice volcano, great view. Makes you feel right at home. What's this thing called again? Doom Hill? Kind of disappointing. Not enough for a mountain,
While Tanya was admiring the surroundings, the fourth stone of finitude was nearby, in the middle of an enchanting clearing.
Wow, that's just too easy. Oh, crap. You can't say something like that.
Indeed, out of nowhere, mysterious beings appeared and broke the stone into 3 fragments, which they then carried away just to make things interesting.
Great. I just had to say it. Okay. It's my fault. Hopefully we can put that thing back together. I'm sure I still have a tube of all-purpose glue lying around here somewhere.
The fire of Doom Hill's volcano could be used to fuse the stone fragments back together. But in order to do so, those stone-stealing lava lumps would first have to be defeated.
All right. We're actually quite well versed in smashing things to bits. Onward, creatures! Smash those lava lumps, collect the fragments, and paint moustaches on their face. Wait. I mean, take them to the volcano.
The volcano seemed to radiate more and more heat. It was only a matter of time until it broke out. The heat was torture for the moderate temperature-loving evil's creatures. The hotter it got, the more the heat would damage its armies. Manivores have appeared in your dungeon. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon. The temperature inside the volcano rose unceasingly. For the icy evil's creatures, this was a painful development.
The nerve! How are we supposed to slay heroes in these temperatures? Oh, phew. I demand a little snot with a fan.
But fortunately, a magical artifact was supposed to be located somewhere nearby. The so-called chameleon artifact. This would safeguard the bearer against too powerful heat.
Just the thing I need. Forward, creatures! Find that artifact, pick it up, and bring me an ice cream on the way back.
The area around the Doom Hill was inhabited not only by lava lumps, but also by a few of Tanos's fanatical followers. These were more than ready to destroy evil. Manivores have been discovered in your dungeon. Your enemies are in the dungeon. The Doom Hill volcano erupted, spewing rocks and lava throughout the area. Any creatures eventually out on the overworld would probably not fare well now. As if that were not enough, the vibrations also roused some lava lumps in the underground.
Evil is unstoppable!
group of careless heroes marched listlessly through the countryside. Intercepting them would yield a fair amount of evilness. Payday! Creatures. The volcano's eruption was no walk in the park for the nearby heroes either. Losses were to be expected.
Ah, now that's the way I like it.
Once again, heat was building up in the volcano. The ice-cold evil's armies had discovered the Camelot artifact. Its use made the heat of the volcano bearable everywhere.
Finally, give me that thing. I'll slip it into my footpath right away. Ah.
You have discovered a number of lava lumps. Enemies have entered the dungeon. Your little snots have roused some lava lumps. The Doom Hill volcano erupted yet again. Incandescent lava rained from the sky. payday. Creatures are collecting their pay. One of your creatures has become livid with rage. A hero was overwhelmed by the volcano's pyroclastic fury. The volcano once again began to build up heat. A creature has become livid with rage. The Swimming with Dolphins for the Starving Relief Society was moving a donation to a safe place. Unfortunately, they had not counted on the merciless evil's nearby dungeon. Man-of-wars have been discovered in your dungeon, and the Frosty Evil's creatures had discovered a Charmanor relic. This protected rooms and creatures against excessive heat within its area of effect. For instance, like the heat from a volcano.
Wonderful! We should keep that thing at my place. Then the first thing I'd do is take a nice cool foot bath. Or we could just protect these insignificant creatures.
Your little snots have roused some lava lumps.
It's payday.
You have discovered a number of lava lumps. A small convivial troop of heroes marched across the landscape, dreaming of a great quest and completely unaware of the Absolute Evil's dungeon. Man-of-wars have appeared in your dungeon. Man-of-wars have appeared in your dungeon. Once again, the volcano erupted and covered the area with lava. A hero could no longer withstand the volcanic flames. Your little snots have completely mined out a gold vein. The air in the volcano once again became hotter and more stifling. Lava lumps rose to guard the stone fragment.
We kicked their lava asses good and proper, assuming they have an anatomical equivalent. But fine, let's take the fragment to the volcano and melt it down.
Tanya had captured a fragment. A little hands-on help from the stuff pushing Evil's army allowed it to be brought to the volcano. However, it could be assumed that the lava lumps would not give in so easily. A number of lava lumps appeared to take the stone fragment back from the blindsided Evil's army. Payday! Enemies have entered the dungeon. The Tele-Trouble Express for kiddies was on its way. Would it really be evil to destroy it? Questionable, but still it would bring in some evilness. The Doom Hill volcano erupted yet again. Incandescent lava rained from the sky.
Excellent! Getting that stone fragment to the volcano was a breeze. Okay, everything is easier when you have an army. Onward, maggots! Get the next stone fragment. And somebody refill my cocktail glass.
A hero was overwhelmed by the volcano's pyroclastic fury. A number of lava lumps were upset at the thought of their stone fragment being stolen. Tanya had captured a second stone fragment. This could now be taken to Doom Hill. A few lava lumps set out to recapture the stone fragment. Lava lumps rose to recapture the stone fragment. The volcano once again began to build up heat. Payday! The carting stone about evil's armies had brought another fragment to Doom Hill. Lava lumps rose to protect their stone fragment. Tanya had captured the last stone fragment. All that remained was for it to be taken to Doom Hill. A number of lava lumps appeared to take the stone fragment back from the blindsided evil's army. A A few lava lumps set out to recapture the stone fragment. A third stone fragment had reached Doom Hill. Talia and the collectible-crazed evil had done it. All the stone fragments were now in their possession.
Great! Now let's melt this mother down and make ourselves a fancy stone. My precious. Or better said, my stone.
Those were my first words after the doctor took out my gallstones. But we digress. Talia and the rock-collecting evil had captured the fourth stone of finitude. Now they only had to find one more stone before they could reassemble the gauntlet of finitude. Raiders of the Lost Stone. The fifth and last stone of finitude lay hidden deep in the underground. But Talia and the digging evil weren't the only ones stretching their greedy claws out for it, for the dwarf queen Brynhild was extremely interested in it herself.
I am even more powerful!
Time to get my wee machine going here and get me that last trinket before that dark elf lass grabs it.
That stupid dwarf again. This is slowly turning into a running non-gag. But okay, let's cut it short. These incredibly long intro and outro sequences are going to drive people crazy. Narrator, what do I have to do?
Now that's such a direct question. Talia had to reach the Stone of Finitude before the Dwarf Queen could grab it. The latter had procured a modern mining machine.
Oi! What's wrong now? What's wrong with the damn thing now? Hello? Maintenance? The drill isn't working. What? Yeah! I already tried turning it off and on, you jokers! Oh, wait a minute. I was wrong. It was just the plug that was loose. Someone must have unplugged it while cleaning. Okay, not another word about it. Let's move on.
Well, you see, the dwarves had a powerful drill. Now, where were we?
Okay, all right. I think I know what to do. We dig out the stone. Consider it done.
I'm getting the feeling you're out to take my job right now.
Let's go, creatures. Get those pickaxes ready. Dig your way to the stone and refill my cocktail glass.
The glorious evil had used research to improve its little snot's tools. These could now effortlessly dig through stone and rock. The researching evil had improved the little snot's tools. Henceforth, they would even be able to dig through greystone. The horrible evil's smartest little snots had got together and determined the fastest way to the Stone of Finitude. However, it led through both stone and greystone, which necessitated some important little snot research. The clever evil had already improved his little snot's tools so that they could dig through the rock almost effortlessly. Splendid. The digging evil had dug up some dwarves. These protected an ancient relic of the recently deceased Dwarf King Grimly. If Talia and the experimenting evil got their hands on it, they could use it to briefly make the underground visible.
That sounds incredibly practical. I hope we can take that thing with us into the next missions when we're done.
Unfortunately, it was impossible to move because it was powered by dark matter, which was so heavy that no one could lift it.
That was clear. Whatever. Onward, creatures! Beat the dwarves to a pulp! Grab that thing and read the user manual so I don't have to.
The dwarves' drill had already traveled a quarter of the way to the Stone of Finitude. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest.
Oi, lads! What are you lot doing still lurking around here? The underground is crawling with creatures whose skulls make great tankards. Now get to it!
enemies have entered the dungeon. The drill's energy dropped to an alarmingly low level. With so little energy, it made very, very slow progress. The dwarven relic from King Grimly was now in the clutches of Talia and the conscienceless evil. From now on, it would be possible for them to lift the veil of darkness in the dungeon for a short time. The glorious evil had used research to improve its little snot's tools. Greystone would no longer pose a problem. Manivores have appeared in your dungeon. The little snot-wasting evil had its workers digging brimstone. With a bada-boom, bada-bang, the rock vanished and set off a chain reaction.
What's wrong with this thing now? We're out of bloody energy. Lads, did one of you unplug the charging cord from my drill so you could charge a damn radio? Oi! I need an energy shipment here, lads. And I mean, as of yesterday. So get your arses in gear.
While that stupid dwarf bitch is busy whining, we can just head on over and pick up the Stone of Finitude. Forward, creatures! Dig those rocks, dig those tunnels, and collect dwarf beards as trophies.
You have discovered an artifact. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. Payday! Your enemies are in the dungeon.
There we have it. Finally, I have seen all 7 dragon nonsense. 5 infinity stones of finitude.
Psst, we don't want to get sued again. Anyway, Talia and the Happy Evil now had all 5 stones of finitude. This brought them one big colossal step closer to Tenos's destruction.
Exactly. Now we just quickly insert them into the gauntlet and then we can get this show started. Oh, somehow I lost the spear I was going to put Tanos's head on along the way. Oh well, but I think I'll just make a new one.
The Rune Sockets of Finitude, Part 1. Talia and the Digging Up the Countryside Evil had been able to get hold of all the Stones of Finitude. Now, all that was left was to insert them into the gauntlet.
How did I get here? What are we doing here? I thought we were just going to put the stones in the gauntlet.
Talia and the Stone-Snatching Evil had all 5 Stones of Finitude together. For these to be mounted into the Gauntlet of Finitude, they would first have to be inserted into the ritual Rune Sockets of Finitude.
What? What's this bullshit? Tristan just inserted the damn things into the gauntlet?
No, you just didn't see that sequence. It happened off screen.
The hell he did? I watched him do it myself. Okay, I suppose there's no way I can get out of this. And did I hear you correctly earlier when you said Part 1?
Each of the stones had to be taken to its corresponding rune socket. Talia and the not getting wound up about artificially prolonged game time evil set to work.
Well, I'm sure as hell pissed off about this lousy plot twist. It almost looks like someone wanted to get a few more levels in just because there were 20 missions in Dungeons 3. And now, just because someone is afraid of a few bad reviews, I have to put in an extra shift. Well, thanks a lot, you out there. But hey, what the hell? Let's get going. Show the gormless developers that we can jump through a few extra hoops on top of everything else. Onward, creatures! Find those rune sockets. Get the normal stones, the non-rune stones there, and let's finally put this freaking thing to bed!
A few manivores have appeared in your dungeon. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. A few manivores have appeared in your dungeon. In order not to make things too easy for Talia, the storytellers had decided to have heroes appear here far from any civilization to attack the dungeon. Story intrinsic logic was something that happened to other people. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon. Enemies are in the dungeon. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. Tanos's fanatical fighters grew stronger and stronger. In order to defeat them, the leveling evil's creatures had to become even stronger.
Easy for you to say. Someone capped the maximum level at 10. The nerve!
This was only partially correct. Actually, the demonic Vault of Might offered the ability to raise the maximum level. The secretly leveling its creatures above the maximum level evil immediately tried it out.
Oh, yeah, you can bet your sweet Bippy we're going to try that out. How come you only tell us something like that right before the end, just when the final battle is practically about to begin?
It's called an arc of suspense.
A couple more of your little catchphrases, and I'll suspend you over a gorge. But whatever. Hop to it, little snots. Make some space for a Vault of Might.
The sniffing around the underground evil's creatures had discovered one of the rune chambers, in the center of which was one of the rune sockets. Using the hand of terror made placing the stone there child's play.
Rune chambers, rune sockets, non-rune stones. Oh, creativity must have gone into overtime there, huh?
The frantically button-pushing evil could now place the first stone of finitude in a rune socket and unleash its powers. A stone once placed could no longer be removed.
Okay, so it's important to pick the exact bonus we need most right now. Phew, strategic decision. I'm more of a head-through-the-wall person myself. Well, so, just the first thing that comes to mind, and on we go.
The first stone of finitude was placed and began to shine in the base of the rune socket.
Wonderful, then let's move on. I still have something important to do.
Why, do you have another appointment?
You betcha. Hello? Tanos, head, spear, ring any bells?
The stone of damage was now in the damaging evil's arsenal and could be used to strengthen its creatures. The second stone of finitude had been placed. Only 3 more stones waited to take their proper place. The fantastic stone of experience was now ready for use. The wise evil could use it to have its creatures level up even faster. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. The digging evil's creatures had discovered another rune chamber in the underground. A gold vein is almost exhausted.
It's payday.
The third stone of finitude was placed. 2 more stones needed to be placed. The stone of efficiency was now at the effective evil's disposal. From now on, its rooms would be able to work much more effectively. Your enemies are in the dungeon. Your little snots have dug up a spider. Another rune chamber has been discovered. The 4th stone of finitude was in place. Only 1 more stone had to be placed before the gauntlet could be charged.
Wait a minute. What do you mean, could be charged?
I think it's better if you just wait and see.
Ah, that does not bode well.
The legendary Stone of Swiftness had now unleashed its full power. From now on, the absolute evil could use this to make its creatures even faster. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. The Digging Evil's creatures had discovered another rune chamber in the underground. Your little snots have completely mined out a gold vein. The Tele-Trouble Express for kiddies was on its way. Would it really be evil to destroy it? Questionable. But still it would bring in some evilness. The fifth stone was placed in the corresponding rune socket. The ritual could begin.
I knew it! Not only have I now wasted so much time dragging these damn stones around everywhere, no! Naturally, this nonsense is just going to keep going on forever! Let me guess what the next mission's about.
Well, of course, it could well be that there were heroes who would try to disrupt the ritual. A certain dwarf queen somehow comes to mind.
Oh, of course, that makes sense. If you have to buy yourself some more game time somewhere, then you might as well do it right. The keyboard torturing hack cobbling this story together better hope I never get my hands on him.
The Rune Sockets of Finitude Part 2. The Rune Sockets of Finitude were now ready for the secret, mystical ritual to be performed.
Oh, okay. So now we've wasted time putting the stones of finitude into the rune sockets of finitude. So what's next? Move the rune sockets somewhere and use them to form the stone circle of finitude.
Talia could hardly wait to embark on the ritual and infuse the stones with power. But in fact, just saying the secret magic word Xylopylo was enough to start the ritual.
Yeah, sure. I say Xylopylo, and then you'll say something stupid, like in that previous mission, the Ascent, with the Flabery Dicks or whatever it was.
And so Talia set the ritual in motion.
Hey, wait a minute, what the hell? I'm not even prepared yet. My dungeon from the previous map suddenly disappeared. I'm starting from scratch here.
Talia was not yet fully aware of the consequences of the ritual. She probably thought she would be charging the gauntlet of finitude, but in fact, the genius evil was following a different plan.
I beg your pardon? Why am I only being told this now? And this genius evil you're talking about, that little rugrat over there fervently stuffing a booger in his mouth.
If you wouldn't keep interrupting me, these long intro sequences would be much shorter. Look, it's quite simple. Take good care of the stones so they don't get broken. Unfortunately, someone has also informed the dwarf queen Brynhild that you are here and she is now on her way to you.
Probably one of those blabbermouth developers for suspense and stuff. Forward, creatures! Make ready! Build traps and rooms and bring me more sharpened spears for my meeting with those damn developers later.
It's payday.
A few manivores have appeared in your dungeon.
Time to pay a little visit to the underground, lads. Chase off those critters down there. Boy, come lads! Let's see some action down there in the dungeon. Smash that little dungeon crystal thing of yours. One of the rune sockets. Or at least destroy a few runes.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The Swimming with Dolphins for the Starving Relief Society was moving a donation to a safe place. Unfortunately, they had not counted on the merciless evil's nearby dungeon. Payday.
I'm gonna make a bleeding me tankard out of that damn dark elf skull. Whereby, with that bird brain, it's probably only enough for a shot glass.
A gold vein is almost exhausted.
Oi! Time to smash a few room sockets. Off you go. Take care of it, lads.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
The tax collector drove down the road in his car. Could destroying him really generate evilness? Payday. Your little snots have completely mined out a gold vein.
One of your creatures has become livid with rage.
Oi, lads! It's time to kick some of those rune sockets to bits. And don't let that creature trash stop you!
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
The multi-billionaire Mellon Woofit Bates had decided to distribute his savings amongst the poorest in the country. One of these shipments just happened to be passing by very close to the dungeon.
Talia, your days are numbered. The Goddess of Light will punish you.
I already blew out the Goddess's light in the last add-on.
A new area of the dungeon has been discovered.
It's payday.
A few manivores have appeared in your dungeon.
Brenhill, obviously you are unable to take care of the problem. I'll be with you soon, but until then, my subordinates will be only too happy to take care of the problem. Forward, man! For the light!
Strengthened or intimidated by Tanos' words, the heroes stormed into the dungeon. They seemed to have actually received a blessing, which would at least explain the strange shimmering.
Ha! Doped or not, we're gonna wipe the floor with that handful of heroes. Forward, creatures! Hack those weapons! Sharpen those traps and polish your opponents!
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
One of your creatures is furious and is on strike.
Your enemies are in the dungeon. A group of adventurers had met shortly before in a tavern and were now on their way to their first adventure, but they were not aware of the horrible evil's nearby dungeon. Payday!
Better move on and destroy those room sockets!
Enemies are in the dungeon. A construction crew set out to rebuild the destroyed hero buildings. Enemies are in the dungeon.
A creature has become livid with rage.
Ding dong, it's payday.
One of your creatures has become livid with rage.
Forward, my faithful! Destroy the rune sockets! The goddess sends you her blessing!
Enemies are in the dungeon. A construction crew set out to rebuild the destroyed hero buildings.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Oi! What the hell kind of ape show is this, damn it? Looks like it's time I took matters into my own hands and give this filth a good thrashing. Into the underground and chop up the crystal thingy!
With these well-honed words, Brynhild, the Dwarf Queen, set off for the dungeon.
Talia, you vile creature! You dare attack Brynhild? Not today, not this time, not again!
A portal opened in front of Brynhild, the Dwarf Queen, and transported her to safety.
What? No way! Treachery! I was just getting ready to give that dwarf the nose job I promised her earlier. Ooh, you'll pay for this, Thanos.
Not this time, Talia. Instead, a few of my faithful are going to visit your dungeon. Prepare yourself for the wrath of the light!
With an unpleasant plop, a couple of freshly arrested heroes suddenly appeared in the dungeon.
I hate stupid game mechanics like this. That's cheating. But anyway, I'm gonna wipe the floor with them. Okay, creatures, finish them off. Flatten them. Cut off their support socks. Ha 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 ha!
The Dwarf Queen, Brynhild, entered the dungeon. This might even actually prove to be a little exciting.
Oh, what's that stink down here? Time to air this place out and take out the trash.
Oh, don't worry, I'll just cut off your nose so you don't have to smell anything. And of course, by that, I mean that my creatures will take care of it. Go ahead, grab her, smack her on the schnoz, and rub fiery chili powder on her mucous membranes.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
A construction crew set out to rebuild the destroyed hero buildings. Payday. A new area of the dungeon has been discovered.
Open sacred golden portals of light. Send heroes into the darkness of the dungeon, that our enemies might be destroyed.
Manivores have been discovered in your dungeon. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
A construction crew set out to rebuild the destroyed hero buildings.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Tell you will pay. May you burn in hell until the end of days.
Manivores have appeared in your dungeon.
Oh.
An artifact was discovered in the dungeon.
Goddess of light, open your golden portals and deploy your valiant warriors against these abominations!
Protect the rune sockets. One of the rune sockets is under attack. A stone of finitude is under attack. One of the rune sockets is under attack.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Heroes of light, emerge from the goddess's golden portals and destroy our enemies!
One of your rooms is being destroyed. Ding dong, it's payday. The Swimming with Dolphins for the Starving Relief Society was moving a donation to a safe place. Unfortunately, they had not counted on the merciless evil's nearby dungeon. Talia and the planning evil had completed the ritual.
Finally! Finally! Man, that crap took forever. And why the hell did we perform that stupid ritual?
Well, first off, the ritual site still needs to be cleaned, but we'll get onto that in part 3 of this mission.
Part 3? Are you freaking serious?
Just kidding, the ritual is over.
Wow, you're really dancing on a volcano. You know that? My sense of humor has now left the building. Okay, but what has this ritual brought us?
The witty evil's plan had come to full fruition. A huge, powerful field of energy arose between the rune sockets. A powerful weapon, capable of destroying even a being charged by the Stones of Finitude, such as the mutated Thanos.
Oh, I get it now. So we've set up a giant energy trap for Thanos, and now all we have to do is shove him into it. Huh, not a bad plan at all. Better than what I would have expected from those kitsch scribblers. Okay then, off to the final battle! That spear for Thanos' head is still frightfully lonely.
The last stand, this time for real. The trap for Thanos was set. With the help of Gorgu in the form of the Dungeon Lord and the creature's support, all that was left to do was to make sure that Thanos actually fell into the trap.